The term, what's the term? What's the term for the independent variable? The key concept, the key, so that is an outward FDI, right? So that is a relationship. So at the moment, this relationship is quite obvious, right? Because with the uncertainty, for sure, uh, firms will try to maybe, refrain from invest in other locations, especially internalization, right? Because it's an uncertainty or risk. So after that, you want to bring in some moderator. And at the moment, it's called financial or kind of friction or something like that. So at the moment, I'm not very convinced with the moderator at the moment, to be honest. Instead, I think I put the comment in and suggest that the deglobalization can be the independent variable. Dependent variable. And then maybe you can think about the home country institution quality. Institution quality. So for this, we have indexed, for example, from WIPO or from ICIG. So we can have the data for that. However, you need to find out what kind of the conceptual argument behind the moderating effect. So just my suggestion here, you need to spend time on reading the literature to come up with the idea for the moderators. So this is something I would like to suggest, but you need to read and then confirm with me about what kind of direction you want to go further, or whether you still want to stick with your original idea. So at the moment, your original idea, it's quite obvious. And I find the way to link the moderators. Is that the financial options and frictions, right? How it can link to this relationship. So it's quite hard. If you can find out the strong argument for that, you can let me know, and then we arrange another meeting for this. Yeah. However, I would like to suggest this new model. You can think about that. But of course, you need to spend on reading and then let me know. So I will arrange another meeting, the second one. And then we will need to finalize the title and also the project. Also, I think I leave the comment about the equation, right? So you said that all the data is a country level. So why you put IT in the equation? So if it's a country, it should be CT, right? I should be C. So I always stands for firm, while the country always stands for C. Sorry, C always stands for country. So if that is a country level, it should be CT instead of IT. So need to make sure. Mm, not MNEs. It's just country. So you need to change it to CT here. So check the academic or articles, and then you can see what kind of the symbol you need to use for that. For example, that is another paper I would like to share then. So when you go down here, you can see that the equation, the explanation for the equation. Yeah. And from here, you can see that, yeah, I is for firm, yeah, T for time. And also they got, see here, S for sector, etc. So make sure that you need to change it accordingly, and it need to follow the standard in terms of the academic. And I mean, in this case, it's for equation. Yeah. So the big question is about your research question now. When do you think you can get back to me with the idea and with the confirmation? Because the deadline for the proposal coming very soon. You can let me know later. No need to give me the answer for that now. But make sure that you spend on reading the literature to come up. Yeah. Another question. What kind of theory you will use for this? What's the theory to underpin your research? Hmm. Yeah, but it seems like it's not a theory, right? It's just a concept, but not a theory. So I mean, the way you use the moderator, in this case, real options and financial frictions, is quite hard to find out the theory to underpin your research. So think about this framework, or if you want to go for your current title, make sure that you have the argument and the theoretical argument or framework to back up your research question. At the moment, when I read your proposal, I'm not sure why the real options and financial friction can affect the relationship. So when you talk about the real options and financial frictions, it also country level. But we have so from what I understand, each M&E can have a different options in terms of the real options and financial frictions, right? And it should be the firm's investment choice or the decision. It's not a country decision. So the way you select the moderator at the firm level here, it also very confusing. So it is like from my perspective, again, you need to read, and then you may know more about the real options than me. Yeah. But you need to give me the clear answer why you select that. So there are two options for you now. First, think about the theoretical framework which I just proposed. Yeah. So for the institutional quality, I can suggest you quite a lot of the data sources for that, and it's the secondary data. But you need to think about how to measure the deglobalization. You may know that already because you did propose the deglobalization in your research proposal, right? Yeah, so think about that. So that is the first option. The second option is you still stick with your current idea, but then in the second meeting, you need to explain why and how that can work. Yeah. And also, you need to change the equation accordingly because at the moment it's not the correct one. Right. So my criticism will be for the real options and financial frictions because at the moment it's very vague. It is at firm level, but then when you propose here, you said that it's a country level. And how this moderator can work in the framework, I still cannot find any rationales behind that. So think about that, okay? And then we may have the next meeting next week when you are available, and then we finalize the idea for your project. Right. Any other questions then? Yeah. And then I will arrange another meeting next week then. Okay. So send me an email when you get it ready. Right. Bye for now. Bye bye.